It is the end of the season, so what that means is that a lot of our plants are sort of taking a hit. Right here you can see this is what is left of the squash. It's really struggling. It's time to pull some of the zucchini because they are just done. The reason you want to do this is our little guys, the squash borers, tend to go down into the dirt and they will pupate underground and come back as a moth that will lay more eggs. So you really don't want them overwintering in your soil. So I'm pulling these up. If they look terrible, they gotta go. Which, let's be honest, that's most of these. I might leave that little guy there and see if he does anything. He hasn't the whole season, so I don't know if he would now. And then maybe that guy on the end is okay, but the rest of these, they don't look great at all. And I'm throwing them in my burn pile. And that's okay, because we're getting ready for fall. It's time to start thinking about what we're gonna plant next. Oh, this one has good roots. See how sad that looks? There's no coming back from that. These we can start to stack. Does this one have any shot? No. Look at the top there. Yeah. Well done. Makes me sad. I always hate doing this, but it's time for a change. Oh, except there's a flower right there. That's a male flower though, but I see there's drill holes all the way down. Looks like those pickle worms are possibly in here too. So yes, and look at, we've got some of our little squash bugs there. There's just all kinds of stuff in here, so that's okay. It gets to go. I'll leave this one for now. This one has somewhat of a chance of a comeback, maybe. Let's see what's going on with some of these leaves, though. See, this one has something that bored into it. It's a big hole. I may have to go get my shears and trim that off. Oh, yeah, see? These are those. Yeah, they're in all these. Those round drill marks are all the pickle worms. This is probably a goner. So, but that has opened up this entire bed for the most part, other than our strawberries. They have not really grown much in this bed. The ones that are there, thankfully, are holding on, though. So if they can spread across this entire bed, that'll be just fine by me. I just need them to start doing that. And there's some new leaves coming in there. I would have thought they would have sent out runners already, but they haven't. And the dill, at this point, I guess, let the dill just go to seed. Some of them already are. Look at that one. The other thing that is pretty kaput is the cucumbers. They've been dying off for quite some time, as you know. So I've been picking one or two here and there. In fact, look at, if we go on this other side here, I've still even got some flowering. So, I mean, that's why I haven't pulled them out yet. But, yeah, they're not looking the greatest, that's for sure. But there are still some flowers and some vines on there. So a lot of them are pretty dead, but the ones that are still there, I hate to rip them out. So I'll probably just go ahead and leave them. Tomatoes are looking terrible. They're looking a little bit dry, so I think I need to come in and do a little maintenance. Just pulling off some of the very, very dead looking branches. It might give them a little more life. They could probably use some fertilization. It's been a while since we've done that as well. So that's something that I can do. I can update on this massive okra. So I haven't been out in a couple days. You see that? That is way too large. I've done some videos on TikTok for okra. I'm not sure if I've done them on YouTube lately. So maybe I'll give you guys a little rundown on this. When your okra gets to be that size, oops, can you see that one? That's too big. You want your okra to be more like this one here, where they're about 2 to 3 inches long. That's probably more like 3 inches actually. This one next to it is probably like 5 inches. These get woody and you won't want to eat them. At least with this variety. This is, I think, Clemson. Let's see, hold on, what's this one? Heirloom Clemson Spineless. So there are some other varieties that I've heard can get big, and you can use them just the way that they are growing when they're larger, but not this variety. So I'm out here getting ready to harvest some of this stuff because it needs to be, and I think maybe tomorrow I will come out and start prepping some of these gardens, at least these two behind me, for some winter planting. You'll see I've still even got some squash. A lot of these plants look terrible because they got some of those pickle worms in the tops of them. So they're not all doing the greatest. But this one, you'll see, has a fruit right here. It's splitting open, but you see there's these little drill marks and stuff. They're not the best. This one over here is looking pretty crappy. So I think it's time to just go ahead and pull these out and start over with some stuff that'll be good for the fall. So with that in mind, if you're looking to plant a fall garden, you want to be thinking of your root vegetables like carrots, beets, radishes. Peas are a cold weather crop. Also a good time probably to get ready to start some lettuce and spinach. Broccoli and cauliflower might be good this time of year. I'd have to look at how many days we have until the first frost. So that's one of the things you want to do right now is look at when the frost for your area is predicted, and you can kind of count back from there to figure out what you have a chance with and what you don't. Because even down here, technically, we can sometimes plant another round of squash or zucchini. I'm not sure that I'm going to do that because I don't have the room, and to be honest, I'm a little squash and zucchini'd out. So I think I'll wait till next year to do more of that. But for now, though, that's where I'm at. Let me see, one more thing I can update you guys on. I don't know if I ever told you guys that I found some habaneros. So I did go ahead and get these planted, and I do have, you know, some coming in. This is my first time growing habaneros, so they're just starting to flower and take off, and I'm really pretty excited about that. I have some things I want to try making with those, so I'm hoping that those do well. I started them later than all my other peppers, so that's the only thing, is I'm a little worried about that. My basil, my basil's also taking quite a hit from all this hot weather. It's looking rather bedraggled, but you can see behind it my peppers. Holy moly, I have tons of peppers. So this is why I'm out here today, so I can pick some of those. Also, look at this, I haven't picked all of my eggplant, and that really needs to be picked. So yeah, there's quite a bit out here that needs to be done. tomatoes. You can see behind me, I've got some that are red already on the vine. So this has been the best tomato season I have ever had. So that's been exciting, and it's probably because I've planted a lot more of them than I have in the past. But yeah, it's been a good season. So yeah, I hate getting to this point where I have to pull some of the plants out, but they're not producing, and we really do want to start thinking about the next season. So if you haven't ordered seeds for that, now is a good time. You might even be able to find some starter plants in some of the big box stores, or even some of your garden centers. I'm not sure. This time of year, I don't usually go out searching for plants. I do that more in the spring for my tomatoes and things like that, because a lot of stuff you can just start from seed. So, cabbages, that's another one. I didn't mention that. Cabbages, kale, collards, those are all great cool weather crops as well. So any of that stuff you can look at for this time period and give it a go and try growing it. So that is it from the little urban farm. Our gardens are winding down here, and but that's okay. It's a chance for the new season, and I hope you come along with us for some of that journey as well. And if you have not heard, I started a TikTok channel where I do little snippets of stuff, not just on gardening, but it's also on foraging. I just made an elderberry syrup. I just talked about mugwort, also mullein. So I'm doing a little bit of foraging stuff as well. It's not just vegetables that I'm talking about. So find me over there. It's Little Urban Farm. And yeah, we'll have some fun together. Talk to you soon.